Hey guys, what's up? Grant right here. I'm back here today for a brand new video. It has been a long time since I've gotten back to today's artist on the channel, and I'm talking about Katrina Velarde. A lot has changed. You know, I've introduced a bunch of new artists to this channel. Things just evolve. You all know the deal. But I did not forget about my girl Katrina. She's one of the most popular people that I've reacted to thus far on this channel. She is absolutely incredible, and I'm excited to get back to her today. Now, I saw this actually recently. This is not based on a request. This is just based on what I came across on YouTube. I'm always on the tube, even when I'm not doing reaction videos. And I listened to a snippet of it, and I'm like, we got to bring it to the channel. So today I'm going to be reacting to Katrina's cover of a song called This I Promise You by NSYNC, if you guys remember. This is Katrina Velarde, Sam Mangubat. Excuse me if my pronunciation sucks, y'all already know. Khimo, Gumatay, JM Yosures, and Reiven, Umali. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I'm super excited to be looking at this today and reviewing it with you guys. So get cozy, get something to drink, make yourself feel good, look cash, look dapper, look however you want. We're gonna have a good time, you all already know. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, before we begin today's video, as always, for my newbies on the channel, thank you so much for joining. If you please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up at the end if you like what you're seeing here. And FYI, I do have a Patreon for those who wish to support me and the work I do on this channel. You can become a member there and get all the perks, including priority video requests, which is always cool. So do so today, and let's get into it.
When the visions surround you, bring tears to your eyes, and all that surrounds you are secrets and lies. I'll be your strength, I'll give you hope, giving you faith when it's gone. The one you should go was standing you all alone. And I'll take you in my arms and hold you right where you belong. Till the day my life is true,
Woo! Well, there you have it, guys. That was This I Promise You, which was originally performed by NSYNC, if you guys remember back in the day. I got a whole lot to talk about with this performance. I want to start off by saying I am so happy that I can visit these artists that do not get the recognition that they deserve, that aren't part of the mainstream. And as you guys see on this channel, I cover, if you haven't seen, I cover a wide variety of different artists. I cover, I cover the mainstream artists, but I mostly cover artists like Katrina and these amazing guys that are sort of overlooked for a lot of these idiots that are part of the mainstream today that don't have an inkling of the talent that these people have. And I try my best to bring awareness to these artists because I feel I've been sort of dealt the same batch of cards in my career as, a lot of these underrated, people that do not get the coverage they need. I've always been, one of, the most talented people in my field. I've always, been one of the front runners in, competitions and just everything. And because of the politics of the industry, I never really got, to where I wanted to. I've had my share of successes, but I've never gotten to the level that I should have gotten to, I feel. And that's why I like to, bring these artists to the limelight on my channel, even though it's, not the biggest platform. It is a platform that I can, shed light on these amazing talents to people who may have never gotten the chance of, hearing them. So that said, I absolutely was just smitten by this performance, mainly because the amount of restraint that Katrina once again showed, and she really let these guys shine on this performance. She could have easily taken the lead on each part of this and sort of given them the backing, parts of what's left, so to speak. But she really, took her piece here and there, especially toward the end, but she let these guys have their moment throughout a lot of the song. And that was such a wonderful gesture. That is something that doesn't happen a lot, especially in pop music. If you see a lot of, especially on the award shows, when, people collaborate, it's typically, and I've said this before, it's like a shouting match. Everybody wants the high notes. Everybody wants that, the main part. Everybody has the main character syndrome these days. And not a lot of people know how to sort of step back and let other people shine. And I love to see what she did here. And that is just such a, that's such a telltale sign of professionalism in an artist, is for them to be able to sort of lower the ego and step back and let other people have their moment. Because, and it really, at the end of the day, it goes to show how secure you are with yourself. I feel when people are really eager to sort of be the front row center all the time, it shows an insecurity of them having to prove themselves. And I myself felt that really intense need to prove myself in my 20s. But I feel once you reach a certain level, with your craft, and you really know how, where you are and how good you are, you sort of are able to step back, excuse me, let other people have their moment because you are secure in what your ability is. So she did a wonderful job with that. These guys, the harmonies were absolutely outstanding with all of them. And that's one thing I want to give them credit for, because me, myself, I am not great with harmonies. I've never been. I've always tried. When I'm in the studio on my own music, doing my original music, it's my producer that typically leads me is my sort of guide to how to do the harmonies and what notes I'm supposed to be hitting and all that stuff. It's always been just very difficult for me to sort of latch on to that aspect of singing, and I just admire when I see it done so wonderfully as they did. Absolutely stunning. They just meshed so well. Everybody brought a very unique texture into the mix. They each had really different textures with their voices, and I just love hearing how they brought everything together. How they complemented each other. And you guys, if you've been on this channel, you know I'm always very big on that, is when you compliment another artist. I feel a lot of times this goes back to what I was saying with the sort of the competing for the the high notes and all that. complimenting another artist a lot of times means give and take. I mean, that should go without saying. A lot of people don't get it though. You really have to be have a good ear. You have to be able to listen to where another artist is taking things for you to sort of chime in at an appropriate time with an appropriate intensity, and you have to learn how, like I said, to crank it up and crank it down as needed. And it's just something that you, like I said, it goes back to being a professional. You have to know how to you have to have know how to listen. Same thing with talking. When you're engaging in a conversation, you can't learn anything, or you can't really get to the juice of the conversation if you're constantly speaking. You have to learn how to listen and step back. So they just did a magnificent job with this. And I am a big fan of the original. NSYNC did a beautiful job with the original. I just love where they took it though. And Katrina, she took it there at the end. I knew she was gonna, but she didn't. She didn't. She gave you just the right amount. She could have easily gone over the top. But I feel for this kind of song, you really have to know, like I said, you have to know how to reel it in. You give enough, but you can't take it too far, because I feel it would have overpowered the delicate nature of this kind of song. It is a power ballad, but it's not one of those, power ballads, I feel, where you can go really over the top and really go for it. I feel it really has to be delicate. And she did such a wonderful job in bringing that balance at the end. And her melismas at the end really were reminding me of Mariah. Typically with her, she gives me more of Whitney vibes, but that's what is so special about her, because she can do both. She can give you that real sort of churchy intensity of Whitney, but she can give you also those really delicate run sort of centered melismas of Mariah also. She is just like so many different people wrapped in one body, and she can easily shift gears depending on what's needed, which is why I'm just such a huge fan of her. This just was absolutely magnificent, like I said before. And the guys, the technique with the vocals, absolutely stellar. One thing that I am just such a big fan of in Katrina is she is one of the only people that I've seen that is able to balance being a really great technical singer while also displaying, signs of a human actually singing. I know that might not make sense to everybody, but what I'm always talking about on this channel is a lot of these singers are so focused on being technically perfect, they sort of hide their natural expressions while singing. Their mouths are sort of closed like this, even when they're hitting high notes. They make weird faces and weird, gestures of them trying to, technically maneuver the song, and it just looks robotic. I mean, if you look at performances now versus performances from decades ago, completely different facial expressions, because a lot of what is natural, what is supposed to come through, has been, sort of hidden away in favor of a lot of, like I said, this weird, stuff that sort of guides singers into, delivering technically perfect performances, but, void of any actual human emotion. So you can see she opens her mouth. She actually makes normal facial expressions while singing, and she's still able to, be technically perfect, absolutely flawless. And it's not an easy thing, I can tell you myself, but me personally, I would prefer the technique. If you are not able to do both at the same time, I feel I would prefer to see somebody actually show normal human facial expressions rather than do the weird stuff you see on TikTok and a lot of, these platforms. But like I said, she just proves that you're able to do both, which is what I'm always preaching on. I've been trying, working the last decade of doing the same myself, being sound technically, but also looking like a human being while I'm singing. So she absolutely just aces that just so wonderfully. It's just such a wonderful thing that I can point out on this channel, because I know there's a lot of up-and-coming singers out here also that are on TikTok and are on social media constantly, and that's one of the things I wish were not promoted, is, like I said, a lot of the weird contortions with the face on social media because of, people striving for technical perfection. Look normal, but strive for good technique. There's a way to do both, and if I could, point anything out to up-and-coming singers, that is where you want to go. I could go on and on. This was absolutely wonderful. Such a masterful rendition of the song, as per usual with Katrina, and anybody she collaborates with. Once again, thank you for joining me, guys. I had a great time revisiting Katrina Land and bringing her back to the forefront on this channel after a long hiatus. If you guys have any Katrina Velarde requests, bring them to my inbox and become a Patreon, because if you request stuff on my Patreon, you will get first dibs on what I bring to the channel. So do that, and I look forward to bringing more of her to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today for this reaction video. Once again, if you're new here, subscribe, thumbs up, you know the deal. Become a Patreon, as I previously said. You'll get all the perks, priority video requests. I have a lot of new content that I do plan on bringing to this channel the next couple months, so be on the lookout for that. Once again, bring all your requests to the inbox. I will try to get to as much as I possibly can in a timely manner, and I can't wait for you guys to see what's to come. Have a wonderful day, guys, and I will check you later. Peace.